change and everyone looks up to them. What the superior man seeks is in himself, what the small man seeks is in others. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his action. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. When you know a thing, to hold that you know it, and when you do not know a thing, to allow that you do not know it, this is knowledge. If your plan is for 1 year, plant rice. If your plan is for 10 years, plant trees. If your plan is for 100 years, educate children. Education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope. Hope breeds peace. Without knowing the force of words, it is impossible to know more. I am not one who is born in the possession of knowledge, I am one who is fond of antiquity, and earnest in seeking it there. He who exercises government by means of his virtue may be compared to the North Polar Star, which keeps its place in all the stars turned towards it. In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. An oppressive government is more to be feared than a tiger. If one should desire to know whether a kingdom is well governed, if its morals are good or bad, the quality of its music will furnish the answer. Lead the people with administrative injunctions and put them in their place with penal law, and they will avoid punishments but will be without a sense of shame. Lead them with excellence and put them in their place through roles and ritual practices, and in addition to developing a sense of shame, they will order themselves harmoniously. Old age, believe me, is a good and pleasant thing. It is true you are gently shouldered off the stage, but then you are given such a comfortable front stall as spectator. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. They must often change who would be constant in happiness or wisdom. What the superior man seeks is in himself, what the small man seeks is in others. In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. It does not matter how slowly you go so long as you do not stop. When anger rises, think of the consequences. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. Faced with what is right, to leave it undone shows a lack of courage. To be able under all circumstances to practice 5 things constitutes perfect virtue. These 5 things are gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. To see what is right, and not to do it, is one of courage or a principle. Fine words and an insinuating appearance are seldom associated with true virtue. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. Success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. Men's natures are like, it is their habits that carry them far apart. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Hold faithfulness and sincerity as first principles. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Respect yourself and others will respect you. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. The superior man, when resting in safety, does not forget that danger may come. When in a state of security he does not forget the possibility of ruin. When all is orderly, he does not forget that disorder may come. Thus his person is not endangered, and his states and all their clans are preserved. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. Study the past if you would define the future. Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart. Wisdom, compassion, and courage are the 3 universally recognized moral qualities of men. Forget injuries, never forget kindnesses. Have no friends not equal to yourself. He who exercises government by means of his virtue may be compared to the North Polar Star, which keeps its place in all the stars turned towards it. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. A superior man is modest in his speech but exceeds in his actions. Be not ashamed of mistakes and thus make them crimes.